Hey everybody, thanks for checking out this RynoWorx instructional video. In this 4-part series, we'll be talking about how to get started with your new AirBoss 300. This is part 2, where we'll go over all of the things to check before you load water or sealant into your tank. RynoWorx recommends testing out your system with water before moving on to sealant. Without further ado, I'll turn things over to Lee to get started.
So we just went over how to start your compressor and get the machine running and get it charged up. Now we're going to show you how to load sealer. We're going to simulate with water, but with sealer the same rules apply. So as you can see, over here we've got a full tote of water. In addition to that, we've got a 15-foot cam lock transfer hose that's going to connect into our pumping system over here. The first rule of loading material, and I should say there's 3 methods you can use to load. You can load from a tote, you can load from a barrel, or you can load from the top of your tank, manway. Loading from the top of your tank manway is obviously the easiest and least hassle. If you're going into a bulk fill facility, that's how you do it. If you're loading from barrels or totes, it's also fine, but a few rules apply. Primarily, if your unit is brand new and has no fluid in it, it's not going to be primed. So you have to make sure that your tote and barrel are on a similar level, that the fluid level on your tote is above the fluid level or would-be fluid level of your strainer. If, for example, this is in the back of a pickup truck and you're up a hill and your fluid is down there and you're trying to prime it, it won't work very well. So make sure that you're on level with your fluid. If you cannot be on level with your fluid, preemptively open up your strainer and fill all of these lines with water before you attempt to load any sealer or material into the unit. So I'm going to go get the connections ready.
Hey everybody, voiceover guy here. Let me just pause Lee here for a moment. We wanted to touch on the importance of mixing your sealant if it's been sitting for more than a day. Asphalt sealants will separate like oil and water. The thicker parts will sink to the bottom into a thick, dense sludge, while the thinner parts will float to the top and be much more watery. This can drastically increase your loading times, prematurely clog your basket strainer, and put extra strain on your AirBoss. RynoWorx recommends that you pre-mix your sealants for 15 to 20 minutes with the largest tote mixer that will fit, along with a drill. Another thing to consider is how much water should be added to your sealant. Please consult the manufacturer of your product for the appropriate ratios. Some products require no water to be added, while others may require 30% or more. It's also important to remember to leave enough room in your AirBoss tank to accommodate the appropriate amount of water required for your mix ratio. You may need to leave some of the product in the tote for later if you have a high percentage of water to mix. One last point. In the previous video, we talked about the importance of having a supply of clean water on hand. RynoWorx recommends having a minimum of 5 gallons of clean water on hand for cleanup and hose priming. This does not include the amount of water required for your mixing ratios. You may need to keep a 55-gallon drum or more, depending on the product. And now back to Lee.
So I've connected my transfer hose, the 2-inch fitting to the valve and the 1.5-inch fitting to my cam lock before my pump. Notice that at this step, all of my valves in the system are still closed. And that's strategic. You want to make sure every single valve in this unit is closed before you start to enter loading mode. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my valves strategically to put it in loading mode.
Voiceover guy here. I just wanted to insert a picture of the barrel adapter, which we did not talk about in this video. So on the left hand side you've got your barrel adapter, and on the right hand side you've got the vent. So the principle is exactly the same as the tote, except you're going to connect the hose to the barrel adapter on the left there, and make sure that you open up the vent because the pump will turn your barrel into an accordion. Now back to Lee.
So now what I'm going to do is I've opened my vent on my tote, and I'm going to open up the ball valve that goes into the filter right here, my loading ball valve. And I'm also going to open my return ball valve. This is to take the fluid from there into the tank. And you might hear the pump make a few hissing noises. It's because it's pre-charged with a little bit of air. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go start my engine as you can see, the fluid level on the toad is starting to go down. We're loading material.
Hey everybody, voiceover guy here again. We just wanted to show some video of the full sweep hand agitation system with the 3-to-1 gear reduction. I'll put some links in the description for all 4 parts of this series, as well as a general AirBoss overview. That should do it. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about what we've done here today or about any other RynoWorx products, please visit us at www.RynoWorx.com. That's RynoWorx.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.